Hi. So last week I shared this lovely story with the kids, The Jungle Brew, which is from Pratham books, and they absolutely loved it. So I thought, let me also share this story with you today. In a little hilly hamlet in southern India, there lived a girl called Bulbuli. Bulbuli lived with her mother in a small hut which was surrounded by the tallest of trees and the greenest of trees that you could ever imagine. Now, as her name was Bulbuli, she was as bubbly and as sprightly as her name. Every morning, she loved to wake up to all her surroundings and she loved to take in the deep, fresh breath, feeling all the different fragrances around her. So she loved to take in deep breaths of the sweet fragrances which came from the flowers, or the sharp and very strong senses or aromas that came from the leaves and all the wild shrubs and trees which were growing around her. She absolutely loved these little delights. Near her house, the leaves would have the most biggest and beautiful little droplets of water when it rained. And she just loved this village and this, place where she lived. Now, Bulbuli would go to school every day, which was under the banyan tree. And she had a lot of friends, and she had a friend called Totaram. Every day in the morning, she waited for this bird, parrot, Tutara, who flew and came into her every morning to her heart and would tell her, the buzz of the entire forest. So he would share all his experiences from all the places that he flew. And Bulbuli just loved to get updates and to, know everything about the magical places that Totaram visited. And she longed to visit these places someday. So while he narrated all the tales and all the stories to her, she would listen to him very, very carefully, and imagine that one day she would also visit all these lovely, beautiful places. Now, after listening to this, she sometimes took a deep sigh and she felt that, oh, I had not even been to Senseless Point. And how am I going to visit all these other places? Senseless Point? What is this place? I'm going to tell you what Senseless Point is. Now, every day Totaram would come in the morning before Bulbuli left for school. On this particular morning, Bulbuli waited for Totaram, but he didn't turn up. Now she was tired waiting and she left for her school. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and a whole week passed away, and there was no sight of Totaram. She would go out of her house in the morning after school and, Totaram, where are you? Where have you been? She would call out, but there was no response. Now she started getting a little worried. Was Totaram safe? Was everything fine with him? She was really, really upset that she was missing Totaram and all his stories a lot. Now, next day morning, she heard a distressed bird call out, Bulbuli, Bulbuli. She immediately rushed out of her bed, out of her hut. And she saw that it was Totaram. He was perched on the tree and he told her, Bulbuli, I need your help. The jungles are at war. At first, Bulbuli didn't understand. The jungles are at war? What does that mean? So she said, Totaram, can you calm down and tell me what has happened? So Totaram realized that he was getting upset and he was getting worried, and with his shrill voice, the entire village is going to wake up. So he sat calm for 2 minutes, and then he told Bulbuli that, all the animals are very, very upset at Senseless Point. There is a war which has broken out, and I need help. Now, Bulbuli had heard a lot about Senseless Point. No one from her village had ever been to Senseless Point, but everyone talked about it a lot. On hearing about Senseless Point, it all seemed that it's a very beautiful place and a very mysterious place which offers an experience of a lifetime. And Bulbuli always longed to go to Senseless Point. So she told Totaram, well, there's only one way that I can help you, and that is if you take me to Senseless Point. Don't be silly, Bulbuli. Senseless Point is 2 sunrises and 2 dusks away, and it's very difficult for you to reach there. Now, Bulbuli tells him, look, this is the only way I can help you. The only possible way for me to help you is if you take me to Senseless Point. My mind is very big, though my feet are very small. Don't go by my feet, and my willpower is very, very strong. And besides, at least I could give it a try. So unless and until I give it a try, you won't know if I can really help you. So after a little while, after thinking, Totaram agreed and he said, all right, let me take you to the jungle to Senseless Point, but be prepared that you have to walk for 2 days and you must be able to help me out on reaching there. So Bulbuli set out with Totaram. Now, it was really, really far and she had to walk a lot. And she had to walk in the midst of tall bushes and tall trees and the thickest of all the grass, which she had not done earlier. But the entire thought of, going to Senseless Point and being there just made her wanting to do this. So she was ready for this journey. As they walked and walked and walked, she started to feel a little hungry and thirsty. So she told Totaram that I am really, really thirsty now. Can you get me something? So Totaram gave a shrill whistle and comes in Bandru the monkey. So Totaram tells him, I have a friend here, Bulbuli, and I'm taking her to Senseless Point. Senseless Point! Oh my God, will she be able to reach there? So Bandru, can you climb the coconut trees and get her some coconuts? So Bandru obliges and he quickly rushes up the coconut tree, throws in 2 or 3 coconuts from the tree, which, burst open, and Bulbuli quickly scoops out the kernel from inside and gobbles it down because she was really, really hungry. And there was a little stream by which Totaram tells her that you could go and have some water. Now, after doing this, again they set out for their journey. They walk and walk and walk quite a lot, and again it's already afternoon, and by then Bulbuli was also again hungry. So Totaram gets her some nice red berries and puts them in her palm, and then she quickly has them. Now by evening she was really tired, and Totaram tries to perch her on a little place where there is grass, and quickly she dozes off. Now the next day morning, Bulbuli is awake by 1,000 million birds and their humming sounds. And she loves this sight absolutely. But there is still a long way to reach Senseless Point. So they wake up and again start their journey. Now as they go and they walk, by afternoon, she's again tired. So she tells Totaram that, now my feet are sore and I'm really tired. But her willpower is very, very strong because she has been thinking of Senseless Point, what a mysterious place it could be. And most importantly, she wants to know what is this war that's going on in the jungle? What is this war? How can jungles be at war? And she was there to resolve it. So there's no way she's going back. Meanwhile, Totaram gives a shrill whistle and comes in Hathi, Hathi the elephant. So he tells, Totaram tells Hathi that this is my friend Bulbuli from the village and I'm taking her to Senseless Point. Oh, yes, it's only a human being that could help at Senseless Point. And all the animals are frightened and they are scared and we all want our peace back, tells Hathi to Bulbuli. And it would be really, really very kind of you if you could help us resolve this war, says Hathi to Bulbuli. And he agrees to carry Bulbuli for a little distance and tells her that I will be able to take you till the trail because after that I have to go back to my family and from there on you will have to walk your path to Senseless Point. So Bulbuli is happy that her little feet could get some more rest while she sits on Hathi and she can also have a nice view of the entire surroundings, and as they walk she's pleased to get some help to cover her distance. Finally, they reach the trail and she gets off Hathi and she thanks him. And Totaram tells her that from now, when you walk down the trail, we are going to reach Senseless Point. Now, as she walks down, she realizes that everything feels and smells so distinctly strong. So the fragrance was really, really strong and it was more refreshing than what she was able to experience earlier. In front of her, now all the trees have suddenly disappeared and she can see that there are only bushes and hillocks. In front of her, she could feel that the grass is really, really sweet and has a nice fragrance. On the right, she could see that the bushes are all wild and they have been spreading and growing wild. And on the left hand side, she could see tall grass. Now, Totaram tells her that this is Senseless Point, and she realizes that by this